Hi guys, today is Thursday. I hope everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Thanks so much for stopping in today, guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. I almost got started without you guys today as I am running a wee bit late, and as I have expressed to you all numerous times before, the individuals in this house like to eat at a particular time. All right, so today, do you guys, first off, do you get these little, if you shop at Kroger, I'm not sure if Publix does it. I know we often get the ones from Trader Joe's, but in the mail the other day came this little Kroger spring review flyer. It's filled with coupons, but also they will from time to time feature a recipe. Let's see if I can, there you go. All right, so today for dinner, because this looked so yummy to me, I decided to make this. And like I said, I almost started without you guys and I'm so oily. So it's sausage and cabbage skillet. All right, it looks really good. Really yummy. All right, and I have most of the ingredients here in the kitchen, so I said why not. All right, so what you're going to need, guys, for this little sausage and cabbage skillet, if you want to make this for dinner either tonight or some other day, you're going to need 5 strips of bacon. That is what the recipe calls for. However, I felt kind of bad using 5 whole full fat strips of bacon, so I cut it down to 4. All right, and my bacon is pretty thick. All right, so I'm only using 4 strips. 2 cups of chicken broth. Okay, that's what I have here. 2 cups of chicken broth, and I love to use the low sodium chicken broth. Now, I did not have the red onion. However, I do have the sweet Vidalia onion, and I'm more partial to that, so I think that'll be great. Now, the recipe does not call for any garlic. However, I am choosing to use about 1/4 of a cup of garlic here. You will, of course, need 1 head of cabbage cut into wedges, and I have half of it here, and I'll be chopping up the other half here with you guys here in just a second as I catch my runaway carrot. You will need 4 freshly washed carrots as well. And then finally, guys, you will need some sausage. Okay, and so what I'm choosing to use today as my sausage is the roasted garlic chicken smoked sausage. And I'm also going to use 1 kielbasa, a package of kielbasa sausage as well. I felt the 2 of these together would add for a make for a very flavorful dish here today. I have my skillet. You'll need 1 skillet. This is another one of those great 1-pot dishes. All right, you're only gonna need 1 pot for this, and I have it back there just heating up really slowly. All right, and I also have a LaCroix. I love LaCroix. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Everything has been washed, no worries there. All right, you guys recording? Yes. I'll finish chopping up my cabbage into wedges. And as you guys can see, I have just a regular cabbage here, but you know, you can obviously, you know, use, what is it, the purple or the red cabbage. That will probably be great as well, and nice and colorful. But so as we have been doing here kind of regularly now, when I'm in the kitchen, we kind of discuss things. And something that Eric and I have been discussing here in the house as a family, we include Chase in these topics as well, is are a few of the things that we feel are kind of plaguing the Black community as here of late, and also probably historically speaking. All right, so as we talk here in the comments, you guys go ahead and let me know the issues that you think are pretty prevalent issues that blacks here in America specifically are faced with right now. 3 or so of the issues that we here in my house kind of feel are plaguing blacks here in America. And listen, I know I have white subscribers here on the channel, or subscribers of other races, and I love having you guys here. Love, love, love. I know that this may not impact you, you know, on the level that it impacts the rest of us melanin-filled people, but I would love it if you guys stayed tuned in and, you know, kind of listened out today. But if you feel like this isn't something that interests you, I absolutely understand if you guys, you know, kind of, you know, click off. But again, I would love for you to stay. So one of the issues that, you know, Eric and I talk about is the erosion, you know, of the black family. The fact that there's so many black men out there who feel that being in a marriage, being in a committed relationship is something they're not here for. And it is an issue that he and I feel impacts the family, of course, in a major way. You know, look at all the single moms out there having to raise children, more specifically having to raise young men. And I know there are those of you out there who are single and you are bringing up boys, young men, and you ladies are doing a fantastic job. But wouldn't it be great if you had help? You know, I was watching the news, or we were watching the news yesterday as we ate dinner, and not sure if you guys know this, but you know, we used to have a home in Stone Mountain, and the high school that fed into the neighborhood that we lived in, Stevenson High School, if you're here in Atlanta and you know, live in the Stone Mountain area, you probably know about Stevenson High School. Well, there were some, you know, young men there who felt that they had to, you know, come to fisticuffs at school. And then of course, after school, it bled over into one of the little boys' neighborhood. One of them who had a problem with this individual drove to his house. I guess the little boy who opened the door felt threatened, ran and got a gun, and then shot the little boy, killing him. 15 years old, you know? So maybe, I don't know if the individual who drove over to that little boy's house had a father in the house, but I would hope that, you know, fathers would be able to be a role model or an example for our, you know, black youth, telling them right from wrong and ways to better handle disputes. I'm gonna grab my scissors to cut this bacon. You guys, I cannot cut bacon with the knife. I have some kitchen scissors that, or you call them kitchen shears, that I actually use to cut my bacon. But yeah, that's just so sad. So I think, you know, one of the things that we really need to focus on as a community is just making sure that men stay committed to the family. You know, stay out of the streets. Stop running up behind the Insta thoughts and the whoever's, you know. Nowadays, you know, a lot of men are right in the church cheating. I don't even need to tell you guys about Pastor John Gray. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? I know so many people, you know, love to, you know, tout religion and try to hang stuff like that over individuals' heads. And listen, I am very spiritual, very spiritual. I start my day talking to the Lord, end my day talking to the Lord, and many hours in between the day, I'm talking to the Lord. But how do you guys feel about, again, just homes being broken up? Now, Pastor John Gray's wife did stay with him. She did stay. But you cannot tell me on a daily basis, she is not feeling some kind of way about this dude and all her business out in the streets. And she gotta go to church every day and look at these, every Sunday, and look at these people, you know, knowing that her husband has cheated. All right, so according to our instructions, we are now to, in a large skillet, add in our bacon, onion, and cabbage until tender. If you were his wife, would you have stayed? We never know exactly what we're going to do, you know, until we are placed in said situation, you know. But I would just hope none of us ever have to experience anything like that. It would just break your spirit to have to find out that, you know, your husband has been with someone else, you know. And now he is coming up with all these lame excuses for why he did it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that whole issue with him. Another issue that we often talk about here in the house is just lack of education, you know, in the Black community, lack of importance placed on education in the Black community. I think a lot of us, unfortunately, you know, have come from households where, you know, the parents weren't super educated, and so unfortunately, you know, these parents don't place a whole lot of emphasis or importance on education. I can recall when I was a teacher, you know, I had so many students who came to me who had parents who were neither interested in the educational process and really didn't care if their kids got an education. They just knew it was something they had to do to get their public assistance, and it was mandatory by law. I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I worked in the inner city of Atlanta before Atlanta's inner city became, you know, hyper gentrified as it is now. But so a lot of my parents, they didn't care about, you know, their kids getting an education. They didn't care about their kids coming to school. What they cared about was the fact that if their kids did not come to school, I was going to report them, and they were going to get kicked out of their housing. They were not going to get their checks, and they were going to go to jail. Now, once these kids became of age, a lot of them fell victim to the streets and ended up in jail. You know, it would really crush me to see a lot of my former students on the news for burglary and murder and things like that, while when they were with me, you know, they were really, really good students. The system is not set up for us for it to be easy for us to, you know, to make it after being locked up. So the best thing, the best advice that we can give our kids is don't do it. Well, I guess for me, this has actually turned into a 2-pot meal. The other skillet, it was just too small, so I went ahead and switched out to something a little bit larger. So just kind of keep that in mind if you are going to make this. All right. So just kind of stirring that around. You can see some of the cabbage that was near the bottom has gotten quite a bit of color on it. The bacon, let's see if I can scoot some over here so that you can see. The bacon has also gotten some color. Some of it has gotten quite crispy. All right, so now we can go ahead and kind of add in our onion. And as you can see, I have it really small, as there's somebody in this house who just detests onion. So I don't really want him to see that. And add in my garlic. And I'm gonna just toss all of that around. Yesterday, guys, we were on our way out to dinner as we continue to kind of talk about things that I think are kind of plaguing the Black community. And how do you guys feel about pants sagging? So we pulled up to the light, and at this particular light there was a bus stop there, and there was this little boy. I want to say he was maybe 16, 17 years old. When I tell you, let me turn around because I really want to give y'all an example. His pants, guys, were down to here. Down to here. All of this was out. How do you guys feel about our young black men who like to walk around with their pants hanging down to here? Like, can you imagine you're sitting eating dinner and somebody walks into a restaurant and all of this is just out? I don't want to see all of that. I do not want to see all of that. So I am begging you, anybody watching and your children are guilty of doing this, that's not cute. So do you guys think this is a dish that your family would enjoy? Do you think it's something that you will eventually make? Let me know. I know several of you said that you tried out the chicken and dumplings and you enjoyed it. Kind of like a cabbage stew, if you will. You have your little bits of carrots. It's not overloaded with carrots, your cabbage. And remember, I use 2 kinds of sausage. I have my just regular kielbasa sausage right here, and then I have this really pretty, really flavorful chicken garlic sausage. You have your bacon in there and your chicken broth and a little garlic. Make sure you give everybody a little bit of that broth. Looks really yummy. Like I said, this really just reminds me of like a cabbage soup. All right, so that's what it looks like. So let's give it a quick taste test. As you guys know, it is piping hot. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of everything. So I have a piece of sausage. I have some cabbage, a carrot. You guys see the steam coming off? You know who cooks really good and I'm surprised and I would like to eat at their house? Ricky Smiley. Have you guys ever, he has a YouTube channel, so you guys should go check him out. I was watching him one day and he was making cornbread and black eyed peas in a crock pot and it looked so stinking good. Like, I wanna go eat at his house. That is really good, guys. That's really good. That is really good. You know what it tastes like? If you've ever had, like, I think it's called cabbage rolls. It's where you take a cabbage leaf and you roll like sausage up in it. This is exactly what it tastes like. A really hearty meal. It is really chilly here in Atlanta today. Kind of rainy, so this is the perfect meal for today. All right, so let me know your guys' thoughts on the meal. Let me know your comments on the commentary we had today. Really appreciate you guys stopping in. This is gonna be some interesting conversations, so I cannot wait to talk to you guys in the comments. And thanks again, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.